Sorry it's taken so long to get put together, but here's my STR1V Stark review. And so, we start off in the garage, as usual on my review. So, it's a tank that was actually made, it's real. It was a Cold War vehicle. Sweden went with something a little more funky to stop the Russians coming through Sweden over Northern Europe, and it was designed to fight in the trees and small ridge lines and sort of guard defensive roads, and it did actually have a siege mode which worked. So on this game it takes 1.3 seconds to go into drive mode and 2 seconds to engage siege mode. So you can get away quicker than you can get into firing. So the engine, as you can see, is there, 10% chance of fire. That's the gun. It's novel. It's got great penetration on the rounds. 288. The tracks it's traverses, not too bad. The average light tank isn't going to spin you out too badly. The radio is exceptional, 850 meters of range, same as a T62A. The ammunition is in the back, and the average damage is a standard 105mm gun. And as you'll see with the crew, the commander does the radio and commands the vehicle. The driver sits in front of the loader, and the driver does the gunner mode, and the loader just loads the gun, and he's facing backwards because the breech of the gun is in the back of the tank. And so the armor values, not much to talk of all over the vehicle, just really well sloped. You might get away with the odd side shot sort of at that angle there, or not that angle there for sure. That's the underbody of the vehicle, so don't get shot anywhere by anybody in the rear or anything like that. And then the 30 to 50mm, there's a small patch on the front where the tracks are, spaced armor, and the gun itself. So at that angle that I've given you there, you probably are pretty bouncy to anybody on the front of the vehicle. But you have to be careful because your gun handling, your gun only works on siege mode, and your gun handling is, your gun doesn't only work on siege mode, but your gun handling is about 1,000 million times better in siege mode. So there you go. So that's the loadout that I use: 35, 10 and 5, large repair kit, automatic fire extinguisher, and coffee and cinnamon buns. Because basically if you lose a crew member, it doesn't really matter. There's only 3 in there anyway. I used a binocs and a gun rammer on it, but I did have vents instead of binocs, but I've been having better games with binocs recently. So let's have an Ace Tanker gameplay. We've got 7 pens already. I'm really sorry it's a shortish clip. 2 shots into that guy there, 3 shots into a Tiger P and then killed him, and 2 shots into a Scorpion G who was far too aggressive and killed him. So this guy also far too aggressive. See, they're getting frustrated. What has frustrated the enemy greatly in this game is not enough of them went north. They've all decided that capping isn't good. He just wants to pop through to kill Artie. No, that's his prerogative. If he wants to lose all of his hit points just to kill a small artillery vehicle that isn't really doing anything, I can tell you that much, to help our team. Yes, he's firing, but I don't think he's hitting much. So what is really frustrating our team is the T29 has got himself in a position where he is hull down, and he is being a real pain to the enemy. Because as we all know, even in a tier 10 game, the T29 has a turret of a god, as long as it's fully upgraded. So, the Cupola's so small. Anyway, this guy here, once again, is far too aggressive. So the Stridsvarn with coffee is an 8.42 second reload. It's generally around about 10 seconds without any equipment or anything at all. So it's got quite good DPM for what it does, and it's certainly got an excellent accuracy. Now he was a one-shot kill before I get damage roll into him. 399, just slightly above average, not too bad. I had a 488 earlier, 488 roll into an E75, that was quite nice. Another way to describe the gameplay style of this vehicle, it can be really. If you're being frustrated with your team, going forward and trying to do, trying to make a difference in the battle, isn't going to work. Not in this. You are literally at the odds of your team. So he's going to die. That's it now for me. Really, you've missed everything that I've done, which is a real shame. But it'll give you a rough idea of how much silver you can make. As you can see, I've used no repair kit. So you can minus 20,000 silver off for my coffee and cinnamon buns food, which is what this vehicle uses. You can also take off the ammunition that I've fired and missed, which is 4 rounds. And I didn't fire any premium rounds in this game. They're 4,400 silver, and really in a tier 8 game you ain't never going to need them, because the armor penetration on this gun is so great at 288 with standard rounds. It's incredible. Shell speed is exceedingly fast as well, so you don't have to lead your targets too much. So we are going to charge forward. We get spotted by the artillery before he spots me. That's crazy. And we found him. Unfortunately, the tank that was up above could see him for himself too, so we didn't pick up any assist on that. I was kind of hoping the T-29 behind might be the one that shot him, because he wouldn't have seen him. Nevertheless, 1,539 base XP is good enough now for an ace tanker at 4,000 damage and 3 kills. Second place because the T-29 got a bag of assisted off of me, 105,000 credits for that damage and the repairs to my tank.